everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out. And definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. A few days ago, I was watching an interview with someone who'd been falsely accused of a crime. He ended up spending 2 weeks in jail because of it. At one point, though, he said that false accusation saved his life. God spoke to him when he was in jail. When he was there, alone, vulnerable, angry, and afraid, God said, "Can you hear me now?" I can feel that. I hear that. That's how God is. He's so quiet. He's so gentle until you don't listen. That there is some of the best advice you will ever hear in your life. If you know you need to change something, change it immediately. Because God is not in the business of coddling, even though, of course, we would prefer that. Somebody who coddles you when you don't need to be coddled, when you don't deserve it, is not doing what's best for you. Now think about your own child. Imagine you have a child and you keep telling them not to touch the hot stove. Don't touch the stove, honey. Honey, don't touch the stove. Eventually they touch the stove. And then it's completely realistic for you to say, I told you that was what was going to happen. You don't listen to me. This is what happens. Now you're hurt. It's kind of like that with God. He tells us, he gives us so many opportunities, but sometimes we just don't hear him, or we don't listen, or we don't want to do it, whatever it is. Really listen to me on this. If that's you, consider doing things a different way. I now actively pray and ask God to please not have me learn any lessons the hard way. Please let me hear you if you're whispering something. Well, something happened that I didn't pay attention to, and yesterday I was taught a really hard lesson. My hope is that, like that guy in jail, that I can tell you later, oh, I'm so glad that happened because it totally changed my life. And I was angry with Joe last night because he wouldn't coddle me when I told him what happened. I wanted him to coddle me. I wanted him to baby me and tell me, it's all right, Sharon, it's not your fault. If he had done that, I wouldn't be so amped up to change something in my life. I would have just considered I was a victim. Yeah, that is true. It's not my fault. I was at the orthodontist with my son yesterday. Now, he has Invisalign. For those of you that don't know, that's like an alternative to braces. Instead of having the traditional braces, you have, it's like these little like retainers, and you change them every 2 weeks. So he's at the end of that. Now, I paid $5,000 in New Hampshire for the whole thing because I got a discount if I paid up front on my credit card. So that's what I did, and he had the Invisalign. We left to move in with Joe before the Invisalign was finished. So we've been doing it on Zoom for a while with the orthodontist in New Hampshire, but now we're at the point where he's so close to being done. He needs a couple more trays, they're called, the retainers, and then he needs like a permanent retainer put in his mouth for a year or two, something like that. I already paid $5,000, so I thought at the very end it was going to be like $1,000. Now that's a lot too, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't prepared to hear $3,800. I was at the orthodontist and I'm sitting there, oh, okay, but I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Then I'm thinking to myself, my ex should pay that. He should pay that. Why does he get to get away with not doing anything, not paying anything? So I talked to Joe about this last night and I thought he would say, yeah, you're right, your ex should pay that. Instead, he said, your ex isn't gonna pay that. Why would he? You haven't made him do anything. And then he said, as a matter of fact, why did you pay the $5,000 to begin with? He should have been paying that. Why didn't you think of that then? And I was so mad that he said that. How dare you? He's like, you're hurting your kids. I was so ticked, you guys. I was so mad at Joe. Then I'm thinking about it later. Of course, this is later, after I told him he was a jerk. But later, I thought, oh my God, he's right. I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror. If I want to be a good person, if I want to follow God, I need to do the right thing. I was trying to be tough girl Sharon. Now, I wasn't thinking it consciously like that. But 2.5 years ago, when I kicked my ex out, he didn't pay for anything. He paid the mortgage most months. Everything else, even though I was a stay-at-home mom, and these are his children, he didn't do anything for. He didn't volunteer anything, absolutely nothing. And I was so pig-headed. I was thinking, screw you, I'm gonna do it myself. You think you can be this way? Fine, I'm gonna take care of everything. So I'm charging $5,000 on my credit card. I'm not asking him for anything. I'm not getting an attorney involved. I'm just going full speed ahead. I had $5,000 on my credit card. I should have used that money to pay for an attorney. That would have been much more worth it. But instead, I just do everything. Now, here I am, I'm in another state, and I get this unexpected bill that I can't pay, that Joe can't pay, that hurts our new family. Joe's son needs orthodontic care as well. So here we are, and I'm so upset, and then Joe's like, well, you shouldn't have done this. You should have gotten involved, you should have made him pay in the first place. And then we started talking about my attorney. And he's like, she hasn't been a good attorney, we should have done things different. No, I'm sorry, I should have. He's not at fault for this because I was being stubborn. No, it's okay. No, like my attorney's like, you're not going to get alimony. And I just dropped it. I didn't think, oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't fight for my family, for my kids. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Don't make the mistakes that I have made. I'm here to tell you. When I do my videos, I tell you good things I've done, but also bad things. I tell you the truth. And if I can help somebody else not do this, or at least consider this, do not go full steam ahead and act like you can take care of everything when you can't. That's not who I was, but I was pretending to be, or I thought I was. I didn't, Joe always tells me, he's like, you know what? You're the type of person that shoots first and aims later. That's the truth. And now today, I'm hoping, just like that guy I told you who later said that being in jail for 2 weeks was like the best thing that happened to him, I want to be able to tell you that with this as well. When you leave a narcissist, that isn't the only thing you need to consider. You don't just leave the narcissist and then immediately go into victory. A lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, yeah, of course, how dumb are you, Sharon? I get that. I didn't think ahead. I thought, all right, everything's going to be great. Like the only thing I need to do is leave the narcissist. There's so much more. I have children I need to take care of. I need to be the best person that I can be, because if I leave the narcissist and stay the same way that I was, I'm not advancing in life. God does not have us here on earth to be pampered and indulged. We have work to do. We have His work to do. And like I told you earlier, His will be done. So I needed to think ahead. I need to be smart. I need to be a well-rounded person. I can't just go ahead and will the world to me the way that I want it. So after you leave the narcissist, that's the beginning of your journey. Now what? Now what are you going to do? I need to figure out, so for me, there's a few things I need to do. First of all, I need to figure out finances. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my attorney. Do I try to get a new attorney? I mean, I don't have money to spend on that, but do I try to figure that out? Do I contact the attorney? Mrs. Joe is like, you can either fire her, and let's see what we can do. He's like, or you can tell the attorney that your son needs these braces and you're not paying for it, and then your ex is going to do nothing, or tell you he'll pay half and then not do that. Some of you may remember I made a very recent video, it might have been the last one or the one before that my ex is a deadbeat. He promised that he would, like, verbally, he promised in the mediation, after, remember, he's done nothing, not one dime towards his kids. Then he said that he would start paying child support voluntarily, $645 every other week. Well, that was supposed to begin on June 17th. Nothing. Today, as I'm making this video, it's exactly 2 weeks later. Nothing. He hasn't given me anything at all. He doesn't care. And Joe knew this all along too. He's like, he's not going to give you anything. I was so sure he was, because I said to him, well, why would he volunteer it? He didn't have to do that. And Joe's like, did you forget you're divorcing a narcissist? You need to get in the mud and play with them, or you're going to get run over. I've been getting run over. Now, I'm almost done with the race, and I'm trying to figure out a way that I don't have to go all the way back to the beginning to start again a different way. I need to get myself in gear quickly. So I need to figure out, what am I going to do with the attorney? How am I going to go forward with this? Am I going to just suck it up and just be like, all right, you know what, I'm almost done. Learn the lesson the hard way. I'm going to have to move forward and, just give it to God. Or do I try to fight this now when I'm so close to done? And I don't know. I'm going to figure that out. I also need to figure out what my standards are. Why did I allow these things to happen? Because being with the narcissist is not the only thing. It's not like I can just blame him for everything. Okay, And he did do so many things wrong. That's the truth. You guys all know how that is with a narcissist. But I can't be the best person possible. I can't be a child of God if I can't look in the mirror at myself realistically and say, okay, who am I? What am I going to do in life? Why did I put up with the things that I put up with? Because the narcissist, of course, they're a horrible person, but they didn't make me stay with them. I need to be accountable to myself. I need to be accountable to my family. I need to be able to look in the mirror and know I did everything that I could possibly do. And if something happened, then all right, at least I tried my hardest. But just out of the gate doing nothing and then just magically thinking something's going to happen, terrible idea. Do not follow what I did. You need to be able to get your family the support that they need. You need to be able to take care of yourself. These are real considerations. So I'm hoping that with today's video, somebody who thinks that they don't need the narcissist and you could just go on ahead, it's not that you need the narcissist or not. They're responsible for their children. They're responsible for their family. That's a fact. They're not going to volunteer anything. You need to push the button. I thought, I was so afraid. That's really the main reason I never pushed anything. I was afraid to wake a sleeping bear. But like I told you, at the beginning of the video, I felt like I can't handle anything bad happening. It's too much to bear. But the reality is that's not true. You might think that, but what you think doesn't necessarily mean it's true. God knows what you can bear. God knows. And He is pushing you in this way, which means you can do it. We have more strength than we think we do. You need to call on God and listen to what He's saying. Don't just ignore Him or think, well, you know what, I can pay attention to God when it's convenient for me, but if I have to do something hard, no, I don't think so. That is not the life that you want to live. That's not the life that's going to give you joy and pleasure and happiness. It's so funny to me because sometimes I think about how just a few years ago, when I was still with my ex, I wouldn't have dreamed about saying anything to anyone about anything. Now I share everything, and I do it in the hopes that it helps somebody else. Well, I have several daily goals. Joe and I actually got these notebooks earlier today, and we're going to start filling them out. We're going to fill out our couple goals, the goals we want for our family, us individually in a relationship, us together in a relationship, us individually, because we're starting our relationship together. We're starting our life over together. But we also have individual things that we need to do and accomplish. And finances, all types of things. We're going to have this list of every single thing that we need to do, and we're going to start working on it. One of the things I'm doing with this video is I want you to hold me accountable. Months ago, when I was first deciding to leave my ex, I used to tell you guys every Friday where I was, like things I needed to do. When I did them, I told you. When I didn't do it, I told you. I'm doing the same thing now. I'm going to tell you some of the things that I need to do, and every Friday I'm going to take a minute or two to let you know if I'm doing them and what's happening in my life. I need to get that list done with Joe, and I'll tell you my list next week. And then what I need to do is figure out my attorney, what I'm going to do with the attorney, how I'm going to handle that. I also need to figure out who am I as a person? What are my standards? How am I going to move forward in the best possible way? These are crucial things that I need to figure out. I need to have goals that I accomplish. Every day I have some goals that are in my head, and every day I try and be a blessing to my family. I want everybody in my family, I want to make everybody smile that day. I also want to try to affect one other life. Now, when I say that, I mean I want to, because sometimes you don't know what people are dealing with in life. So I always figure if I can make one person smile, if I could, open a door for somebody, be kind to somebody, that can help benefit their day. There's been so many times where someone will be so nice to me and it affects me, makes me feel. Like one time I was at the drive-thru with my kids at McDonald's, and there's this kid working there, and he was so kind. He was so nice. And I prayed for that person. Even now I pray for him every once in a while because they touched me, they affected me. I want to be able to do that to somebody else. I've been so blessed by God, but I also know pain. I don't want to go down a dark road. I want to be I want to be light. I want to go towards the light. I want my life to turn around. And I recognize I am incredibly stubborn, as Joe pointed out last night. Now, I wasn't thinking it, but he's right. So now what I need to do is let that go. Who does God want me to be? And be that person. So I'm going to read my goals to you next Friday, and you need to tell me what I'm doing. If I'm not, you got to read me the riot act if I'm not doing what I tell you I'm going to do. Next Friday, I better figure out what I'm doing with this attorney. And maybe I will at this point just let it go. I don't know. But I need to do that. So many of you told me that I needed to change this attorney, and I didn't because I was afraid. I didn't know what I was going to do. But that's the same thing with why I ended up in the situation in the first place. I can't live my life in fear. I either trust God or I don't. I either really want to be a good person and make efforts to be that way, or I'm just going to sit there fat and lazy. That's not the person I want to be for myself, for my kids, for my new family, nothing. The outcome is already determined. I need to just go towards it. And I'm determined that I'm going to smile while I'm doing it. I was in such a bad mood today. I'm not going to be that way. I'm going to be happy while I do these things because I'm doing God's will. I'm doing what God wants me to do. I need you guys to help me do that. So I'm going to stand in the mirror tonight, look at myself, write down my goals with Joe, and next Friday I'm going to tell you what they are, and then going forward, when I don't do them, you make sure and tell me I better get off my fat, lazy butt and get moving. I got a life to live. We all have a life to live. So learn from me, for one thing, and don't make these crucial mistakes. You can't do everything on your own. Asking an attorney or having the narcissist give you something doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean that they win. It means that you're doing what's right for your family. Not everything has to do with your own pride. I can do it myself. Maybe you can't, and that's okay. You will eventually be doing everything on your own, and you'll be happy when your kids have braces and when your kids have food on the table and when you're not living in your car. So that's what I want to tell you in today's video. Joe and I are planning on making a video this weekend. We're actually going to go to this park that we really like, and we decided we're going to sit by the stream and do a video there. So if that sounds good, let me know. And I always think it would be fun to do a question and answer video with Joe. So if you have any questions for me or Joe or us together or kids, anything, go ahead and ask. And if enough people ask, if I at least get like 5 people, I will do a video like that either this weekend or coming up. So thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great weekend, a great 4th of July if you're in the US, and I will see you on Monday. God bless.